And so to our special and rather timely report. Right now, my bet is that Titanic will win the Oscar for Best Picture, although there are better films among the competition, including the 9 times nominated Good Will Hunting. This represents a notable triumph for the 2 young actor-writers, Matt Damon, who's 27, and Ben Affleck, who is 26. Last month, their screenplay won them a Golden Globe, and now it's got them an Oscar nomination. In addition, Damon, the hottest newcomer in Hollywood, has been nominated as Best Actor, and other approving nods have gone to Robin Williams, Best Supporting Actor, Minnie Driver, Best Supporting Actress, and Gus Van Sant, the director. Good Will Hunting is about a tough, largely uneducated kid from the wrong side of the tracks who just happens to be a mathematical genius. Tom Brook talked to Damon and the rest of the cast in New York.
Good Will Hunting tells a tale of a young working-class kid from tough South Boston who's fallen afoul of the law. He may be a mathematical genius, but emotionally he's a mess. As a condition of his probation, he's required to see a therapist, played by Robin Williams.
I can't learn anything from you. I can't read in some book. Unless you want to talk about you, who you are. Then I'm fascinated. I'm in. But you don't want to do that, do you, sport? You're terrified of what you might say.
The film is not grand or flashy, but it is profound. A well-wrought story of a troubled character with a violent past and his struggle to find himself. It's also surprisingly insightful, considering Matt Damon, a Boston native, was only 23 when he started writing it with his longtime best friend, Ben Affleck.
We actually started it, Ben and I wrote it together because we couldn't get a job as actors. So out of frustration, we started writing the script. And we really only wrote it just because we were interested in playing these roles. Not necessarily because we wanted to write a screenplay. We just wanted to play these parts. And we, you know, at its inception, what we wanted was to kind of make this movie very low budget, just with us in the roles, and you know, maybe similar to the way Kevin Smith made Clerks, that kind of movie. And we were really happy to find out that you know, that studios actually wanted it and would pay for it.
You must consider yourself incredibly lucky that you have written this film and it's now been made by a respectable operation, Miramax, and it's got big-name actors in it as well as yourself.
Absolutely. It's a chance of a lifetime. I mean, we really, when we made it, we never thought it would be on this scale. To look at a poster and see Robin Williams in it, it's amazing.
You're not perfect, sport.
Robin Williams says what impressed him was the script. The subject matter of Good Will Hunting is reminiscent of his 1989 film Dead Poets Society, which also dealt with individuals struggling for identity.
It's about a brilliant kid, isolated kid who is, you know, a genius essentially, but has a lot of problems. And about how do you work with that? What do you do? That doesn't, you know, how do you work with him and try and make connection with him, and not, in the process of doing that, do you take away this amazing gift that he has?
At its core, Good Will Hunting has 4 different characters vying for Will's soul. The therapist who wants him to move forward, the professor who demands that Will develops his mathematical genius, the childhood friends with whom he's most comfortable, and a posh British girlfriend studying at Harvard who offers him love.
I know you've been thinking about it.
Oh, no, I haven't.
Yes, you have.
Oh, you know, no, I really haven't.
Yes, you have. You hoping to get a good night kiss?
No, you know, I tell you, I was hoping to get a good night late. But I'll settle for like a kiss, you know.
Very noble of you.
Thank you. No, I was hoping for a kiss.
Well, I think we should just get out of the way now.
I think she wants him to make the most of himself as a man, not as a genius, not to utilize his brain, to kind of, for him to be whole, for him to be happy. I think this whole sense of him lying to her, of him never really being completely honest with her, I think she just wants him to kind of come to some conclusions about himself.
Gus Van Sant directed this film. Its straightforward style and content doesn't seem to jibe with his image as a rogue director, but he says he's always been interested in serious drama.
I'm glad you came by, Skylar.
The idea of like a serious drama was always very appealing to me. And although I never really like got there until in this particular film, but I think that was one of the very big things about it, was that it represented that type of movie.
Matt Damon maintains if you really look at Gus Van Sant's body of work, it's not out of character to find him drawn to this film.
I think a lot of Gus's movies are about the search for kind of a surrogate family, and I think this one's similar in a lot of ways. Will Hunting is basically at sea in a lot of ways, and he needs support, and he needs help, and he needs people around him, and Gus is great at showing those types of relationships.
Was it difficult for you to portray this character? Because on the surface, he appears to be one thing, but he keeps a lot of material or inner turmoil bottled up, doesn't he?
Right, absolutely, and that was actually why I wanted to do him, because I think that's what made him. You know, I could have written him as anything. You know, we wrote him as that on purpose because that's a fun acting challenge. So, so I think that was definitely something that we talked about in creating him.
Good Will Hunting is currently playing at some 2,000 cinemas across America. This $10 million film has already taken in more than $70 million at the box office. And in addition to its 9 Oscar nominations, it's also been showered with a whole range of other awards. For Matt Damon, at age 26, this is a staggering achievement because he's already become a formidable force in American cinema. And what's more, because of his unassuming attitude, nobody seems to resent it. With that, back to Barry.
Thank you, Tom. Good Will Hunting opens here next month, but